Hello family, this is Greg coming to you once again from FaithsMessenger.com. I want to make this video for those in leadership, whatever that leadership position may be. And I'm aware that we are all called to be leaders to a degree in the circles that we travel in. But I want to make this video for those who are mature in Christ and those who have a significant impact on the lives of others. I want to caution you not to grow larger than Jesus was, to get out in front of him, not to think of yourself more highly than you ought to think. And it's very easy to do. Those thoughts can creep in very subtly. When you started your ministry, there was no one that you wouldn't pray for. There was no one too small. There was no status required for you to pray for them, to go and visit them, to spend time near their sick bed. But now that you've got a following, now that you've got a staff, now that you've got appointments, now that you've got requests to speak, you might be tempted to say that you're too big to go to the hospital and pray with the elderly. You're too big to minister to the poor. You're too big, you'll send a staff member to go and pray for the sick person in the hospital, because in essence, that's beyond you at this point. I want to focus your attention on the ministry of Jesus, who had a pretty large ministry when he was here. But if you notice the ministry of Christ, he was guided by the needs of the people. He was on the move in one direction, and someone approached him and says, "My servant is sick of the palsy." And he stopped and he ministered to the need of that person. And he would set off on another journey, and he'd get word that his brother Lazarus was dead. And he'd stop and he'd be redirected based upon the needs of the people. He spent 3 years being directed by the needs of the people. Never do I find a place where he sent a staff member to go and pray when he was called upon. He was never too big for that. He was never too big for the smallest person. Now, I don't have a worldwide ministry. I don't have a following. I don't have tons of people knocking on my door for me to speak. So it's very easy for me to minister to the small person. But I would like to think, no matter where the Lord takes this ministry, that I will never get too large to minister to the smallest of the small. My wife and I we came back from Florida a few weeks ago. We were flying at 30,000 feet, traveling at 500 miles an hour. And I could get home and I could say, you know what, we traveled at 30,000 feet and we flew at 500 miles an hour. No, I didn't do that. I just happened to be in the plane that was traveling at 30,000 feet and flying at 500 miles an hour. There's nothing I did to facilitate that. I was in the plane. And likewise, we're in Christ. The things that we do, the ministries that we have, the people that we minister to, the results that we see is not a result of our presence, not a result of anything we do. We just happen to be in Christ. He is the operator. He is the mover. He is the shaker. He is the one that causes the results that we see, not only in our lives, but in the lives of others. So, as I say, it's very easy to get those thoughts that, look what I did. I laid hands on the sick and they recovered. I did this. No, you didn't do anything. You just happened to be in the plane. You just happened to be in Christ. So I want to leave you with that. I hope that ministered to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.